feel like my life just feels a little bit off, and I'm not sure why. We call this kind of question in this phase in the life post-divorce limbo.
Yeah, because you can go through your divorce, and you feel like you're getting your life on track, all that to-do lists and that sort of thing, but you still feel like something's missing. And really, that's what we're going to get into today.
Yeah, it's like I've done all this work. I've made it through divorce, or I'm making it through divorce. We actually work with women that feel like this when they're kind of getting to the end. And I know I want something more, but that's like this black hole that's out there, and I don't know what it is. And we work with women that will stay in this phase very briefly. They're like, I don't like it. I'm moving on. And we work with women that have been here for years. They just have felt
Okay.
stuck and churning and just kind of like, I think sometimes it's not painful enough or disorienting enough to create movement and change from somebody.
I think it's also super overwhelming. Like, where do I even begin? And there's so much texture and history to your past, right? And that's after divorce has changed radically. Even if you're in the same house, even if you have the same friend group, your identities changed, maybe your holidays have changed, your vacations have changed, your finances have changed, lots has changed, but you don't know what you're moving towards. So you get stuck in this like history. I know exactly what that was, and you replay it and maybe want that energy, but really creating that vision of what is next helps you shift out of limbo and into your next chapter so that it feels like you really own that chapter, right? Like this is me. I'm not in this in between painful stage waiting for something, waiting for life to start, waiting for me to feel better, waiting for whatever that is.
I know. And I can remember people are like, oh, you can do anything you want now. Like, oh, the world's your oyster. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's too vast, right? It's like, how do I choose if I've got the whole world and all of these possibilities to choose from? So, you know what? I'm just not going to choose. I'm just going to wait and see what the world brings to me, what the universe lays at my feet, or something like that. And you can really sit there waiting a long time for the universe
Yeah.
if you're not putting out some clues or expending any energy or really investigating what it is that you want. That limbo can be just almost feels comforting, right? Like I can't, I'm not, if I don't make a choice, I'm not gonna make a bad choice. Like I'm
Right.
okay here. Like I'm okay. I'm fine. I'm fine.
I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm not thriving. I'm fine.
Yeah.
And I mean, what does it feel? Let's talk about what it feels like. So if somebody's watching this, they're thinking like, I think I'm in that phase. I'm after divorce. My new chapter hasn't fully taken shape yet. Um, so what does it feel like to be in post-divorce limbo? What might somebody be
Uh,
going through?
well, there could be a little bit of decision fatigue because
Mm-hmm.
you've made a lot of decisions getting to this point, and you are second guessing your decisions now, especially if maybe you're second guessing your past decisions. So it makes you even more hesitant to make forward facing decisions.
Yeah, it's a little knock to your confidence. That's kind
Yeah.
of what's underneath that too, right? Like, I just don't know that I can make these decisions by myself, or I don't really know what I want. It feels like um, you're kind of out of touch with who you really are underneath it all. I think it can feel like sort of low grade blues. Like it's not like anything's really wrong. It's just that nothing's really right either, right?
I'm functioning.
I'm functioning. Nothing's really exciting me. Nothing's pulling me forward in an exciting way that makes me feel like, wow, my life is expanding. I know for me, the messaging for women after divorce, especially I got divorced in my 40s. My kids were launching out into the world. I was empty nesting. There was a lot going on. And the messages I received was like, oh, so you're just going to get a real small house. Nobody's going to live with you anymore. Oh, how do you like cooking for one? Everything just felt like reduced and small, and like I had to settle for a little life, a little world. And I was young. I don't want that yet. Even when I'm older, I don't want that. 10 years, 20 years from now, I don't want that. I want life to always feel expansive, always be moving towards something fun and passionate, but I had no idea what that was yet.
No, and I think a lot of the reason that you don't know what it is because you don't know who you are. Like we try to jump into something really quickly. Um, and it's like, oh, this doesn't feel right because you've just plucked something out of the air and it's not really connected to who this new version of you are. You don't go through the end of a marriage and the divorce process unscathed.
Right.
So you like there's pieces of you that are still armored up and there's pieces of you that are just cracked wide open. And it's like, how do I put all these pieces back together to create who I am now?
Yeah. And I think women particularly get caught up in all the shoulds, like even in marriage, right? I should be this kind of partner. I should be this kind of parent. I should be involved in this kind of group. I should. And that divorce cracks all of that open too. And it's easy to slip back into like, what kind of divorced woman should I be? What are people expecting of me? But it's really an opportunity if you give it a beat and like think it through and maybe get support to decide what's really authentic to you and get rid of the shoulds and do like the wants. What do I want for myself? How can I make this an opportunity?
Yeah. And
And
that's scary, right? There's like so many fears that creep up because there's safety in the known. And there's a little
yeah,
bit of fear and scariness in the unknown. And that idea, I think a lot of women are like, well, what happens to me now in this phase? Like, how do I manage? I haven't, especially we work with women that have been divorced, that were married like 30, 40 years. And it's like, I just don't even remember what it's like to be single. A lot of the women in our generation got married in their early to mid 20s and hadn't had a lot of alone time. So it's really
and
like
the,
this.
the reality is, maybe you guys can identify with this, but there's so much support for a dysfunctional marriage, right? There's marriage counseling, there's books, there's all sorts of resources you can rely on, church groups, friends you can talk to. And then there's tons of support for somebody in divorce, your attorneys, support groups, your CPA, all of these things, real estate agents who are specialized in it. But then the divorce is over and like there's the support all goes away. There's a couple of support groups out there. Um, None of them are really forward facing. And so you're left in this new chapter of your life with no roadmap, with no plan, with no like, here's what people have done in the past that have been really successful. And you also feel this pressure to move on. So that's a really hard place to be that can make that post-divorce limbo feel really uncomfortable because like I do want to move on. I don't want to live here forever, but tell me how. What do I do? How do I shift gears, right?
Yeah, where am I go? How do I get that vision for what's out there? And I think that's that unknown. That's can what make this phase so uncomfortable. And I think I know when we were talking about it, and I was like, oh, that's like you're feeling the same way. I'm feeling the same way. And it was like almost shocking because I was like, oh, Carolyn, all these other women that I had seen that were divorced and in different transitions in their life, I was like, they look like they've got it together. Like I'm
And
just over
you
here
experience
struggling, like my feet are just like this under the water, or like trying to keep everything afloat. And it seems like everybody else has got it together and they're moving forward. And I was like, oh, that's probably what they think of me because that's the same persona I'm trying to put out there. Like I want everybody to think I know what I'm doing and I've got it together. But inside, I just didn't. So I love having this conversation because if this is where you're sitting and if this is how you're feeling right now, we just want you to know it's very common. Like all of our stories are different. Like every divorce is unique, just like every marriage was unique. And every woman is coming into this phase with all her own stuff and all of her own skills and energy and wants. But this period, however long it lasts for you, is really common. It's a transition, and transitions can feel really uncomfortable.
yeah. And we've worked with probably thousands of divorced women at this point in workshops and different courses and retreats and all of those things. And I think this is universal. I think whether, like you said in the beginning, Mimi, whether it's a couple weeks of your life, couple months, or a couple years, the experience of post-divorce limbo, whether you've identified it as that or not, is universal. So if you're feeling it, it's really normal. There's nothing wrong. In fact, it's healthy to be in that transition. It's healthy to take a beat and think, how do I intentionally want to create my next chapter so that it's happy and fulfilling and I get the most out of this life, right? That I'm not phoning it in and living how somebody else thinks I should live or downsizing unnecessarily.
Yeah, and I just want to say, if this is you and you're relating to this, I'd love you to drop in the comments, like how is this stage feeling for you, and how would it feel to be moving out of it? Like, can you imagine that, like waking up tomorrow and it's like, oh, I think I have a plan. I think I can start to see that there is something on the horizon for me. Like I loved when I kind of started to envision something more and something exciting, and that time when I was going to wake up in the morning and not feel still attached, so heavily attached to the past.
Absolutely. And I think it's really important to know that you're not alone in feeling it and that you don't really need advice because nobody can tell you who you want to be. But it is an opportunity to create that new sense of identity and getting some support and community around that and direction. Like I always say, I wish somebody, when I was getting divorced, I wish somebody had given me the resources that you and I have created and said, come do this. This is going to be a shortcut for you. You don't have to figure it all out by yourself. And if you are figuring it out by yourself, have a safe place to bounce ideas off of other people. Um, so that's the work we do inside of our Ready for More community. We work on identity and confidence and money and all the things. Right now, we're working through healthy relationships. So, really, really powerful work there.
It is good conversation, Carolyn.
Yeah, we'll come back and talk more about what to do and how to get out of it in another video.